See, good evening, all of you. So today I'll be starting off with yesterday's the topic, which was I was continuing with it, and that was introduction to ICT. So in that the last portion was being discussed. So which was your application areas of ICT. So this was the topic of discussion. So now in this particular discussion we'll be taking about that in teaching, learning, in teaching, learning. So how can this particular ICT be introduced? Okay, so what will happen is, so there are different purposes in teaching also. That means we can cater to e-resources. E-resources are there, and e-resources, it can include what? It can include websites, it can include e-books, it can also include, good evening, so it can also include your e-newsletters, and your open educational resources. Open educational resources. In short, we can also call it OERs. Okay, so these are the different, that means first application area, it's regarding your education. In teaching and learning, we can make use of e-resources, and e-resources can be electronic resources which can be only gathered or which can be only taken into account, or the use of which can only be done when you are using the internet. So the first option is websites, second option is ebooks, third option is e-newsletters, fourth is open educational sources. So all these are multiple options. So there are specific dedicated websites in relation to your gathering of information regarding a particular subject. Ebooks are there, so there are specific ebooks which you are free to download. E-newsletters are there, any updations in any topic of any subject, so they can also be taken into account regarding e-newsletters. Open educational resources, so that means if some person is running or if person is operating a particular blog. So yesterday I discussed about a blog. So blog is an online journal into which means a person means who is interested in a particular topic, so he can share his thoughts. It's a kind of personal website, so many particular persons who are following that blog, so they can make use of comments in order to post something new. So that will be falling under open educational resources. So now we come to the next one. So inclusive, one more is there. This is the first part, and the second part is inclusive education. So inclusive education means what? These are the use of some specific devices, some hardware technology is also being a part of. Hardware technology also becomes a part of your learning. Okay, now in that case, what can be there? Yes. No, ICT is not connected with AI. ICT is totally different. So ICT, that means AI is a different domain, and ICT is the strictly followed by CBSE. Okay. So now, so when we talk about So here you'll be getting some audio devices are there. Audio devices are there, which can be also called talking devices. So into which certain voice is being recorded and they are being just played. Okay, audio devices and this talking devices, and like yesterday I was talking about that your mobile phones, use of mobile phones for gathering information, so that can also be a big part of this. Okay, so all these things will be a part of your, yes. So inclusive education. Inclusive education means where the hardware technology also becomes a part. You give me the entire syllabus. You means I have asked in the group, nobody puts the entire syllabus. Please put your entire syllabus. Okay. So then I'll be able to tell you that what is there as part of this thing. Okay. And already one topic of artificial learning, so artificial intelligence. So that has been taught by me. Okay. So you can just go to that particular lecture, or you can just go back into that particular video tutorial and have a look at it. Regarding AI, I have already given one lecture, this one, okay, class. So now when we come to this, so I hope this is clear to you in teaching and learning. What are the different ways? Yes. Okay. So should I? Yes. Okay. Now my second application of ICT. So is the application of ICT also seen in art? Application of ICT in art. Okay. So now one or two more lectures or one more class will be taken on that AI. Okay. I'll be teaching you that also. Okay. So now application of ICT in art. So application of ICT in art, how can we comprehend the fact that in art also this particular communication technology has become a part and parcel of putting new designs. So you'll be finding that every day some new digital design is coming. Okay. Now digital design includes that your architecture design. Okay. So every new day you will be finding a new kind of building, a new kind of construction being done in the city or outside city or anywhere in the world. Now how those thoughts, those random thoughts, so they are being put into practical use. So they are being put into practical use by the use of ICT only. So that is the architectural design, and then comes your fabric designing, then your new technology based on shoe designing, then your automobile designing, so all these are part of your digital design. Okay. So now when we come to the architectural design, as I said just now, that architectural design refers to any kind of physical structural design which can be in relation to your construction work or any kind of buildings. So which things, that means they always use less amount of space but still give the maximum amount of the room space and all those things. So you will be getting it far more better using the digital design, because it's far more accurate, because it cannot be in approximation. Fabric designing, so every new day you will be seeing that your new kind of fabric is being released, some artificial that means technology is being used in the robotics robotics are or assembly lines, so they have also become a part of your factories and manufacturing units. So using which the designs which the human beings they tend to cover it using a lot many, or the time consumption is lot, or it's a big thing. So that can be done very much easily using this particular digital designing. Shoe designing, now you might be knowing it that there are very scientific explanations being given that a particular way of means shoe wearing of the shoe, it makes your speed faster in terms of athletics and all those things. Now you will be finding that a different kind of cricket bat is also being taken into account. So that also is being done through digital designing. Now they think it, they work on it, then they plan it, and then these things are being put into accuracy using a particular digital method only. Now when digital method comes into effect, so you'll be finding yes. So when you buy a normal, that means when you want to just renovate your homes, so you do the painting works in your homes. So when you go for buying a paint, so then you will be finding that you will be looking for a specific color. So when that particular color is not being available in the market, what they try to do is they first take the two buckets of paint and whatever the paint is there, and they mix it, and they will show it, they will just mix the color, and the color will be appearing on the screen of the monitor, and then the customer will also be getting satisfied that how much light or whatever the thickness of the color is required, so he is going to use it. So all these are parts of your digital designing only. Okay, automobile designing, you might be finding that every new day some new bike or a car design is coming out. So that is being also done, means the overall structure of the working of the car is same only, but the design purpose, the consumption, the energy consumption is also taken into account, and all those things, so they are being first put into digital design. So you'll be finding that animations coming your way, so different kinds of animations, they are also being a part of your digital designing also, because you make the non-living characters means exactly talk like you are just talking to that means a living character. So that thing is also a part of digital design only. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now application of ICT. Now application of ICT in science and technology. So how can we make it out that application of ICT is also part of science and technology? First, here we can take care of health. So in case of health also, so that means you will be finding that these days the surgeries which are being done, so they are being also means it's turned into robotics. Okay, so because the robotics, they can just or using there's a precision in the robotics field, and that's why the human beings have also started depending on your robotics design, or you can call it robots, so which are controlled by humans only in doing the precision based surgeries. Okay. So that's why due to this what is happening is, so the surgeries, they are far more accurate. So whatever the surgeries are being done, so they are being far more accurate. So then what happens is, yes, so the recovery, when the surgeries are being accurate, so that means the recovery is also being, the recovery rate of the patient is also very much successful. Okay, so these are the factors in which the health factor is also, or in the health sector also, the things are being done based on ICT only. Some modern machines are there, some very that means where the human beings some we can call it that some veins are there, some difficult surgeries are there which are to the critical parts of our body. So in that critical parts of the body where the human beings, they are not very much accurate. So what will happen is, so we use multiple doctors, so they can just put a video conferencing kind of thing, so where they can bring out the suggestions in a combined way, and they can just try get to a particular decision that how the things are to be done. And that means different brains, so they are working in a common way. So now in that way, the multiple knowledge, when it is coming from different persons, so it results in a great successful, that means health, you can call it that health sector is getting benefited from this ICT only. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So now coming back to this telecommunication. So what does telecommunication mean to you? So telecommunication is mainly responsible for what? Telecommunication is mainly responsible with the help of satellite communication. So satellite communication means what? So that means the reach is far much higher. The reach or the distance it covers is far more higher. Okay. So this is one of the advantages. So people belonging to wherever they are just residing it, people there wherever they are located, so irrespective of the distance, so the communication or the information dissemination or the information distribution is far more fast also. Fast and efficient. Okay. Okay. So now next thing is, so all these things they can be accessed, or the satellite communication thing, they can be accessed using a internet supported mobile phone, which in these days is also called a smartphone. Okay, so all these are different factors, so which allow you to just which allow you to see the effects of ICT in telecommunication field also. So now we come to one more field, which is called your agricultural sector. So how do you think that that agricultural sector is also being a part of your or it has been also taking the benefit of ICT, or ICT has penetrated into this agricultural sector and the produce has maximized, so which due to which the you can call it that GDP has increased and the new ways of farming, so they have been just coming into existence, and that's why the ultimate economy of the entire nation, so it also gets boosted up. So what happens is, so here in the agricultural sector, so the maximum thing, it depends on the new ways of agricultural techniques. This is the first point. Not only this new ways of agricultural techniques, they are a part and parcel of agricultural sector, but also one of the most prominent factors is that you need to the farmers, they need to be aware of the weather also. The weather, the soil conditions. So all these are the factors, these are the contributing factors, so which add to the benefit, or you can call it the maximized output in case of the agricultural sector. Okay. So now what happens is early prediction of rains. So in case of weather, so there are different factors, that whether the rain will be on a particular month, or whether in a which particular months the rain will be likely is to be there. So that means prediction of rains. So now this thing can be better judged using the information and communication technology only. Then your other weather conditions are there, whether the storm is coming or not coming. Okay, the incoming of any kind of natural disaster. Like your cyclone is there, flood is there, drought is there. So all these factors, they are the major contributions. So they tend to just decide. So now these things should be predicted, that means ahead of the actual harvesting time, so that the farmers can make use of the maximum, can make the benefit, or can take out the benefit in the agricultural sector also. Now these things are being relayed through satellites. Now when the satellite communication, and the satellite this transmits to large number of substations are there, on which some bigger computers like supercomputers, they are being used. And in the supercomputers, what happens is, so they are capable of transmitting such kind of information regarding the, or any kind of updation which is regarding weather and soil conditions. Okay, so now in which other sector do we see the use of this? Now we have just gone through this marketing. Marketing is one of the fields. Then your tourism is there. So this is the second field in which the application of ICT is constantly seen these days. Okay. So now everything, the marketing which was done by human beings, or which was done personally by distribution of papers or distribution of leaflets, so that has all transformed. The ICT has all transformed it, means online. So that's why the marketing has also gone into, it's the mode has changed, it has come into online marketing. So now in this online marketing, so you'll be finding that lot many, that means companies or lot many organizations, so they have developed websites, means which elaborate more on the highlighting points of the particular product or the particular place which is to be highlighted. Okay, and that means the reach and the feedback, they can also be collected online. So these things are there. And then you can call it that mobile applications. So right now that since the smartphone is also having an app store, so using that app store, so the website means all those particular marketing things, or their particular product, so they are being transformed into an app. So this can be easily downloaded, and then one can just means go through all the details which are being given on the given there, and then they can start means using that particular online marketing also. So in case of tourism also, so tourism means online booking of hotels, online booking of hotels is also there. Then your online payment facility is there. So all these things, they are being part of your that means ICT. In case of tourism also, the use is being seen. Now public safety, and one more is there. Another sector, so where the usage of ICT is generally seen is your administration. So in administration, what is there? So in administration can be done at two levels. First is your public security and safety. Now this particular topic, so this particular topic is mainly meant for your armed forces or the police personnel. So because they tend to look after all the security and the safety of the general public. So what happens is, so these days, as we all know, that cybercrime, so it's getting into, say every other day. So every other day we get to see the cases of cybercrime coming up. Now since this particular kind of crime, so it's a virtual kind of crime because nobody gets to see the other person in physicality. So that's why what happens is, so it's very difficult to it's very difficult to just point out the criminal or the crime which is going on around in a particular area. So for that, the ICT is keeping track using the IP addresses of the particular devices. So every other particular, that means for this cyber crime to be solved, so the in context, the cyber crime should be solved in a very fast way, or no matter whatever the distance of the crime is, or whatever the, irrespective where the crime is being done, or it has been just conducted. So for that case, there must be some device or some kind of new kind of solution. So for that, the cybercrime, they are specialized. Okay. So now, when we take into account your e-governance, so e-governance means what? So that means the governance is being done by a particular, as the name suggests you, that this particular thing is being done using a government, or this particular ICT, the role of ICT is also being it is being supported by the government sectors also. Earlier we had to move to a particular public office, so where the things have to be registered, and long queue had to be bond, and then it took time. So then due to the certain weather conditions, or due to certain physical other problems, or the laxity of the persons working out there, so this would have, the solution to the problems faced by the public, they would have taken much time. And one cannot deny the fact that corruption has also been part of your governments. Okay, so in order to just eradicate this and to create a transparent kind of system, so what government has done, it has also made use of ICT, so that the different kinds of public platforms have been created. Public websites, government websites have been created, so where one can post their complaint. They can just post their complaint, they can get the feedback, they can just contact the actual situation also, that what is the progress being made. So all these things are there. So they are a part of your, that means e-governance. I hope this is clear to you. Any doubt? Okay, so now this was all about your introduction to ICT. So now let us start the second chapter. Now my second chapter is regarding creating textual communication. Okay. Okay. So now what do you mean by textual communication? In kind of that means, see, communication we have studied. Communication means, as already done, that it's an exchange of ideas. Now if the exchange of ideas is being done using your any kind of technology, so that into that the communication technology becomes a part. Okay, now communication technology, that becomes a part in whenever the new devices, new hardware things and new kind of softwares integrated with the hardwares, so they become a part of communication. So now when we talk about textual communication, now suppose if I tell you to write a paragraph, so somebody might be writing a paragraph like this way, that means simply putting the lines like this way. Okay, now this is one way, so where the reading of the text also becomes less attractive. So now if I just go to the other way of communication where a particular heading is there, so in that heading, so what can be done is, suppose a heading is there. Now if I suppose present the same text in a different format, present the same text means which is a kind of unarranged, unorganized a kind of text, so that becomes boring for you. But if I arrange the text using a different particular highlighting color, so like if I put a different size of the heading, make it a different colored one. Okay, so if I change the font, so then I put a subheading also. Okay, then I put a subheading, so then I present the text a little bit something like this, so then again I put a second subheading. Now if some points are to be given, so I just make use of certain dots. So if I want to present a list in a better way, so that will be making the text a better, that means message conveyor to you. Okay, so otherwise what will happen is that you won't be reading this text, you will be ignoring this. After a few lines, when you go through it, you will be becoming bored. Okay, so now how to transform this? So every time doing manually, so it will be taking up too much time. Like when you are taking notes from your teacher also in school, so some of the students, what they do is, so means whenever you are writing for your exam, so what happens is you create a separate margin from the left side, from the right side, from the bottom, from the top. So all these things are being done. So then you make the question right using a particular, that means using a different color, suppose blue or black. Then you make the answers, or you write the answers, means which are related to the question in some different ink. So making use of different inks makes the particular text eligible, makes the text interesting to read. Okay, in a similar way, that's also a kind of textual communication. Means if somebody besides you, so they are reading the text, so they will be getting attracted to, or they'll be intending to read it more and more. So that will be a part of textual communication. So now how this thing can be easily done, how the transformation can be easily taken into account. Now all these things can be done if again a hidden form of ICT is being applied to it. Now if a hidden form of ICT, what will be there? So you'll be kind of some specialized software you'll be using for presenting the text or the boring text in a interesting manner. So what you'll be doing is, so you'll be first selecting the software. Okay, so you'll be selecting the software, which particular software will be making or providing you with the facilities, so that all the particular things which you are writing, so that will be most interesting to read by anyone. Okay, so for that case, if you are going for writing purpose, so then obvious choice will be your MS Word. Okay, and many other softwares are also there, like your LibreOffice is there. Okay, so it's a kind of open office. So another kind of software is there, Writer is there. So another kind of, this is also another kind of MS Word only, but means according to the operating systems on which this particular software will be working. Okay, like MS Word will be working under Windows, and LibreOffice, so they will be working under your Windows also, it can work, or any kind of operating system like Ubuntu is there, or Linux is there, which is a variation of Linux. Writer is there. So if somebody is having a your Mac operating system, or so in that case, so he need to use an open office software. In that open office, so he'll be getting that particular writer. Just like in your Microsoft Office, you get one component as Microsoft Word. So now we'll be talking about Microsoft Word only. So right now, so now suppose the things which you are writing on a simple piece of paper, so if you want to make it attractive, so there are certain tools, which is also another part of ICT only, that you make use of this particular software, which is specifically meant for writing only, and that will be providing you each and every facilities. Okay, so the meaning is that first for getting into writing only, so you must be aware that, okay, so what are the keyboard keys also, they will be helping you in doing it. The first thing is understanding the keyboard keys also, because you'll have to right now you'll be transforming everything electronically. So when I am talking about keyboard keys, so now there are certain different keys also. There are a category of keys, like you know that the first category is alphabet keys. So there are 26 of them from A to Z. Okay, now there are number keys. Okay, so the number keys, they exist twice on the right side of the keyboard now, and to the your topmost level also, and the number keys, it will be starting from 0 to 9, because all the combination of all the numbers will be a combination of these digits only. So then it will be occurring twice. So the right side, on the right side of the keyboard also contains a collection of keys which are 0 to 9, and that side, whatever the collection is there, that is what called, it's called your numeric keypad. So in that numeric keypad will be operated, or it can be made operable only when your numlock key is on. So numlock key refers to, that means it's a special key. Okay, so that means it makes it's a toggle key. Toggle key means pressing the same key makes the key on, and pressing the same key once more makes the key function go off. So a particular light will be glowing on the keyboard, so that indicates whether from the right side of the keyboard you will be able to type the numbers or not. So then there are character removal keys. So character removal keys means what? Character removal keys, there will be two keys, like your backspace and then your delete keys. So what is the difference between these two kind of keys, backspace key and the delete key? Any idea? See, backspace key, it deletes the character to the left of the cursor. Okay. Removes character to the left of the cursor, and this deletes the character to the right of the cursor. Since you will be in a typing mode using this particular software, so that's why the keys which are having their specific functions, so they need to be understood in a better way. Now, so in a similar way, when you want to type in capital letters, so one thing you can do is you can straight away check whether the caps lock key is on or not. So caps lock key is also another kind of toggle key only, because the same key when you press it, so it will make that particular key on, and the same key when you press it off, so that means it will be making, or the light will be going off, so that means it's not working. So in case the in case you want to write in capital letters or in the uppercase, so you can press this key, or in spite of that, if you don't want to use this, so is there any other shortcut in which you can make use of writing in capital letters using keyboard without putting caps lock on? So any kind of idea is there? So if I don't want to write in capital, if I want to write in capital letters without using or without pressing caps lock key, so is there any other way using which we can just do it? You can make use of shift key. So shift key plus some other character, shift plus A, so that will be making the character go in uppercase. Okay. So all these things can be done using your caps lock key. So then some more things are there, like when you are in a typing mode, so when you are in a typing mode, so then you will be finding that there is a particular tab key also. Now why is the tab key being used? What is the usage of tab key? So it is used to creates horizontal space. Now you can ask me that pressing a spacebar key also creates a horizontal space. Yes, the difference between the spacebar key and the tab key is that the tab key, it is creating a space of fixed units. Suppose five blank spaces at one stroke, while your spacebar key, it will be creating only one blank space with one stroke, means 1 unit only. So but this will be doing it 5 units, or means whatever the settings of the keyboard have been done. So horizontal space. Okay. So if you want to create a tabular kind of structure but without the lines being drawn, suppose if my cursor is over here, now if I press tab key, my cursor will be going here. Now whatever the distance is, now if I at this position, if I press the tab key, my cursor will be placed here. So that means the distance between these two texts will be same only. So that is the use of tab key. Okay. Now there are certain other keys also, like your which cannot be used alone. Like your already I talked about one key, which was your shift key. Shift key cannot be used alone. The functionality of the shift key cannot be seen alone only. So in a similar way, there is one more key which is called your CTRL. The use of which is not, means the functionality of this particular key cannot be seen in an alone. Okay. So in a similar way, so one more is there which is called your Alt. So all these three keys, they are also called what? Meta keys, because their functionality cannot be is not solely dependent on the usage of these keys. It has to be used along with some other character. Okay. So now coming back to this, so you'll be finding that different kinds of first you need to understand that what are the keys and what their functionality will be in case we are moving on to a specific application like MS Word. Okay, so now what is the enter key used for? Enter key is also one of the prominent keys. It occurs twice. Shift key also occurs twice. Control key also occurs twice. Alt key also occurs twice. So enter key is for what purpose? So enter key is generally for making the cursor go to a new line. Making the cursor move to a new line. Okay, so this is the purpose of using the your enter key. So now before I move into Word, so you'll be finding that different kinds of keys, the usage of different kinds of keys or the understanding of the keys, so they make the things more clearer. Now we said now when we start typing, so we want that different kinds of heading should be there. So there should be a particular, that means facility of putting the headings, of making the text bold or making the text highlighted. Okay, changing the font size, font color, okay, and the font's name also. Achha, now we are talking about a particular font. So what is the meaning of this word font? Is there any other, that means definition for a simple, how will you make somebody understand that what is a font? Any idea? So font means the style of writing the text. Style of writing the text is called your font. Okay, so means there are different kinds of, means when you are doing it manually, so it becomes a great, that means it requires you to put a lot many effort in order to create your own thing. Now here you can choose your own style, like the default is Times New Roman, this is the standard one, then your Calibri is there. So there are, you'll be finding that 50 to 60 kinds of fonts are there, or more than 50 to 60 are there. Then your Comic Sans MS. Okay, so this particular means facility which you are getting in a software, application software called MS Word, so that makes your textual communication more effective. So I hope this is clear to you. Any doubt in this particular part? So okay, today for our class will be up to this much only. So thank you.